What's up, guys? Welcome back to Harry Potter Theories. Now, I know a lot of you probably like Harry Potter theories, much like myself, and it's one of the best videos I have on this channel, so why not do another one? And today, we're going to be looking at some theories that make more sense than others. So, without further ado, let's get into this video. In PSA, I'm not going to be ranking these in any way, I'm just going to be going through the different theories. And our first theory is that Harry Potter and Sirius Black are actually related. Now, this actually does make a lot of sense if you really think about it. Because in Harry Potter, you can see the Black family tree. And some people have really looked into this and speculated and actually looked at the tree to see who's actually on it. And they've seen some names, like a Potter on that family tree, dating a Black, which much people have speculated that this is probably like Harry's grandfather or great-grandfather. And the Blacks are actually a pure blood wizarding family, so they have many members that date back way to the very beginning of the wizarding world and stuff like that. And actually being a pure blood wizarding family is actually going to be way more complicated than you would have thought, right? Because you're going to run into people that you probably wouldn't think are actually your family members, but way long down the line, since there's not that many pure blood wizarding families, they're going to intersect at some point, you know? And you might end up dating one of your distant relatives that you didn't know were your relatives. And that's why people have made the theory that Harry Potter and Sirius Black are actually related, but very, very distant, you know? Now, this next theory, I really like this theory, and I'm probably going to say that a lot throughout this whole video, but this theory is that Neville Longbottom had the wrong wand. Now, people have speculated that Neville Longbottom's grandmother had Neville take on his father's wand to keep his father's legacy going on, because he was an ex-Auror along with his wife. And being an Auror took a lot of dedication. Most of the Wizarding World were not even fighting back Voldemort, so these people literally risked their lives every single day to help the whole Wizarding World. Now, back onto that wand part. As we all know, the wand chooses the user. So this would really explain how Neville Longbottom is always so clumsy and he can't really do many spells. And that's why after Neville breaks his wand and gets a new one, which the wand would have chosen him for his new wand, then he becomes much stronger and he really changes, you know, as you can see him in the Deathly Hallows, where he's going after Death Eaters, and he eventually killed Nagini too. And this just really goes to show that Neville wasn't just some clumsy little kid that didn't know what he was doing. He just needed the right tools to set him up for success. And our third theory is that both Bill and Percy Weasley both used time turners in their later years at Hogwarts. Most of you might not know this, but both Bill and Percy both got 12 owls on their owls exam, which is not easy to do at all. Hermione only got about 11, and she was still using a time turner too. I mean, these kids really needed this time turner to get all this work done. Hermione, one of the smartest witches ever to go to Hogwarts, still couldn't even do good on the owls, and she had a time turner, and she was doing all this work throughout that school year. It would just make sense if they used the time turner during those later years, because if Hermione couldn't do it, one of the smartest witches ever, how in the world could these two do that without a time turner? Not to mention, they were both prefects and head boys in their respective years at Hogwarts, so that's even more work on them. Now, this next theory, I've seen a lot of YouTubers and heard them talk about this theory and mention it in their videos, but they've never really gone in depth from what I've seen. And the theory is that Crookshanks was Lily Potter's pet, or the Potter's pet. Now, I can literally just see Crookshanks being at the Potter's house for some reason. I just literally can vividly see Crookshanks at the house. I don't know why. But it was also mentioned that the Potters did indeed have a cat, but it ran away whenever Voldemort came there. And Crookshanks hates Scabbers. And you know who Scabbers really is? Peter Pettigrew. And Crookshanks has tried to kill Peter Pettigrew / Scabbers on many occasions. And this cat just has a hatred for this mouse, because the cat actually knows it's Peter Pettigrew, because he was friends with the Potters and he betrayed the Potters, so he wants to get his revenge on Peter Pettigrew. Next up, we have the theory about the Dursleys. and why they so-called hate Harry so much. And the theory goes that, as most of y'all may know, Harry is actually a Horcrux. Whenever Voldemort tried to kill him, and the curse backfired back on the Voldemort and killed him. And he already had some Horcruxes, so the last part of his soul actually went into Harry. And that's how that happened. So he has a Horcrux in him, and Horcruxes make the people around very irritated and angry. As we can see in the Deathly Hallows, whenever Harry and Ron are taking custody of the locket, they both get mad, and that's why Ron ends up leaving, because he gets really mad at Harry for whatever reason. And so people are trying to say that the Dursleys are just being affected by the actual Horcrux. But it doesn't actually make that much sense, because Harry's a Horcrux. Not everybody hates him at Hogwarts. He has plenty of friends at Hogwarts. Ron and Hermione are his best friends, and they aren't really mad at him all the time. So I don't know. But this could explain why they so-called hate him for no apparent reason. He's a wizard. They just hate him for... He's just a kid that showed up at the doorstep. Why do they hate him this much, you know? So this is a very good theory to answer that question. Next, we have some more family matters, okay? And I feel like families in Harry Potter, if they're pureblood, like, there's so many different theories that you could really say. And this next one is that Harry is actually the heir of Godric Gryffindor. And yes, this would mean that he is the owner of the Sword of Gryffindor, and would explain probably why Voldemort hates Harry as much as he does, not only because he's the reason why he died and all this other stuff that led to his downfall, but he's literally like an arch enemy of his old relative, because Voldemort was a very determined person to figure out his descendants and stuff, and he actually found out that in the Chamber of Secrets with the Basilisk, and finding out that he is the heir of Salazar Slytherin. And Harry does use the sword to kill the Basilisk, so this could make sense. Now, this next theory, I know a whole bunch of y'all are gonna love this next theory, and that is that Draco actually liked Hermione. Now, in the books and the movies, we can clearly see Draco going after Hermione a lot of the times, calling her dirty mudblood and all of this other stuff. But if you really think about it, Draco was literally being groomed by his father to hate mudbloods, and by his family to hate mudbloods and non-pureblood wizards and witches, and just look at people like they're beneath him. Any other people that aren't as rich as him, such as the Weasleys, are beneath him. And that's why I feel like when he's insulting Hermione, that's his way of saying that he likes her, because he has to put this act on at Hogwarts, I feel like, you know? And a lot of fans have also theorized this, and mostly because at the end of the Deathly Hallows, Draco actually leaves the Death Eaters and goes onto Harry's side, obviously. And I don't know about y'all, but I really feel like Draco was basically being forced throughout his whole life to think bad of people and dislike these people, but he really didn't. I feel like he just had to put on an act for his father so he didn't look bad to him or whatever. What do you guys think? Feel free to drop it down in the comments below. And if you guys like this video so far, I'm going to put a link to my other Harry Potter theories video right here. The next theory basically states that Neville Longbottom is actually the chosen one. Now, if you really think of it, both Harry and Neville have some pretty similar backstories. Something really bad happened to both of their parents. Harry's parents being killed by the Dark Lord Voldemort, and Longbottom's parents being tortured by Bellatrix Lestrange. And both of these things are intertwined because Death Eaters, Voldemort, they were both Aurors too. They're both the same thing, okay? So people think that Voldemort went after the wrong child that Sybil said would eventually lead to his downfall. And this could be true because Neville does play a crucial role in the Deathly Hallows in defeating Voldemort. I mean, he destroyed one of the Horcruxes, and he battles at the Battle of Hogwarts, and that in itself is a very crucial part in the story. Now, as everyone may already know, paintings and pictures in Harry Potter move, and pictures speak a million words or something like that, right? So these pictures speak 10 times that, and I always thought that the pictures that moved in Hogwarts were super cool. In the first movie, you see a chocolate frog and it's jumping in the little compartment that Harry and Ron are in. and they get the little wizarding cards. So people think that Dumbledore uses these cards to get all the information that he knows in the movies. Like, he literally basically knows everything, and it could possibly be because of these little frogs that have his painting on the inside. I mean, Dumbledore is a very capable wizard, and I can definitely see him doing something like this. And Ron even states in the movie that, do you expect him to stay there whenever Dumbledore leaves out of the little picture? That there is my last theory. Now, I don't know how many theories I did, really. I'm pretty sure that's 10. But yeah, if you guys like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I do have some videos that you guys might like that will probably show up on the end screen. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next Harry Potter Theories video. Peace.